Hey everyone, this is Blazer Firewolf. This is drawing Max James Wells all July. And 8 drawings. I know it doesn't seem like a whole bunch, but it's what I did and as much as I could put in. Kind of the origin story here about, how he became Eternal Flame, for, when the internet was kind of a new thing, 95, but something different, kind of an origin story a little bit, not something you see. But yeah, and this one here, because I did some drawings before of him singing Imagine them being Imagine Dragons band members, I did more of that, and whatever it takes. And it actually turned out pretty good when it came to the structural feel of what they look, especially doing Fred Nurk. And feel free to put a timestamp on which drawing's your favorite in the comments if you like. This one turned out pretty good. Drawing Max James Wells, the dragon. And this... Now, I did show you an origin story. Now, unlike the drawings where I've done, this time I actually wanted to do something different on this particular time, July 13th. I actually wanted to see what it would look like if he would lose. Now, he wouldn't, unlike his origin story and how he treats his, victims or enemies, here it's very Looney Tune-ish. He gets his butt handed to him Looney Tune-ish style. Funny, not funny, depending what you look at it. I'm trying to, if he gets butt kicked in the ring, I want it to be cartoonish in some fashion. So, kind of like Looney Tunes, but, but it's something different. Him fighting against a cave troll, and he gets clobbered. No, don't worry, he does have a healing factor. He doesn't die, It's different, but it's something creative. How he loses is because the Dark Dragon is talking to him over the small earbud piece, and that's how he loses. Distraction, that's what the game is. And here's another Imagine Dragons song, Bullet in a Gun. Something different, something creative. I wanted to kind of do it in my own way and image and how I envision it, and pretty much kind of a circumstance about the structural feel and trying to get the lyrics right. It's not perfect, but at least, I read the comments and found out what the lyrics are. And different and creative. I could have done a little bit better when it came to maybe the microphone, and maybe it's not easy doing the fingers as much, and especially doing the guitars. It's not rocket science, but it's definitely not easy, but it's different. Doing guns is not that hard sometimes. It depends how you look at it, but something different. But yeah, and then these drawings were actually pretty good. I think it's this one here I did first. Yeah, this one I did first. Birds in the Evolve album. Really cool, really amazing song. I wanted to do it. But yeah, it's different and creative and has some good ring to it. That's, I did this basically to kind of how I view Imagine Dragons, the band, and the name says it all with the characters and the story and stuff. And again, feel free to put a timestamp on which one's your favorite if you like. Structural, damn it could have used a little bit better when it came to doing the arms, but it's not really easy putting you know, the arms together. It's not easy doing the wings every time because, you know, space, but yeah, it turns out pretty good. I did this last one because, you know, this character is a war veteran, and because this song Battle Cry has much more of a war time feel, I wanted to give it more of that war aesthetic. Because Iwo Jima, you know, February 45, he was actually Max, when he was human, was actually supposed to be at Iwo Jima for at least one last part of the war, to help with the flag or be a witness. Unfortunately, he disappeared before that happened. You know, the story, if you've heard about the story about how Max became a dragon, you know why. But yeah, this drawing's actually turned out really good when it came to structural flow. And I drew as small as I could so I can really be a little easy with, you know, trying to get the feet right, which surprisingly enough, it actually turned pretty good. The lyrics I definitely saved as well. Yep. Now this is if he was a dragon in Iwo Jima, or at least throughout the end of the war. But this is not to disrespect anybody who survived the war at all or was a part of the war. This is actually something to commemorate, because the cartoon Jake Long American Dragon wasn't an outstanding cartoon. I actually wanted to try and improve it by having it in the form of my own character being a dragon, and the first American dragon, at least first known American dragon, or unknown, I should say. But yeah, so I did 2 pages of the song, Battle Cry, and I did everything I could looking up the lyrics for these songs. But yeah, feel free to, you know, put out which one's your favorite, because this actually turned out pretty good when it came to color, and especially like trying to figure out, you know, the structure of instruments like drums. I wanted him to wear kind of that waistband like drum, because that's what the drum beating sounded like in the song. So, and with some of the synthesizer or electronics, that's what the Blue Dragon's doing, you know, electronics. And Jake doing the guitar. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Yeah, this coming month in August, I'm going to be doing Blaze, but in a different light. I'm going to actually do Blaze a little bit if he was in a specific cartoon. See how that would turn out. But yeah, feel free to put a timestamp on which one's your favorite. I would say at least these 2 probably are my favorite. But at least next time I might do more. If I draw Max again, which will probably be next year, I probably would draw him in the form of doing other songs. There's quite a few really good Imagine Dragons songs. I might do Gold next year, but we'll see. And feel free to like this video, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and share everything all together. This is Blaze the Firewolf, and I'll catch you in my next video. Peace out.